This American silver picture frame, purchased at an estate sale in Portland, is a rare piece made by Tiffany Company. Renowned for its quality and artistic expression, featuring an Art Nouveau design, the frame is unique and likely not part of a commercial production due to its size, weight, and robustness. The Art Nouveau influence is evident in the strapwork along the borders, showcasing Tiffany's attention to detail and craftsmanship. Back of the frame reveals further meticulous detailing, a hallmark of Tiffany's high-quality items. The signature on the bottom helps date the frame to be between 1892 and 1904, adding to its historical value. At auction, this Tiffany Company silver picture frame could fetch between $3,000 to $5,000, reflecting its rarity, craftsmanship, and historical significance.
Oh my goodness. I'm very happy to hear that.
This guest inherited a collection of paintings from her parents by an artist none other than Lionel Feininger. Feininger was an American-German artist, a member of the German Expressionist movement, whose art pieces are highly coveted. Starting with a poignant letter, he wrote them. He gifted her parents a charming painting at her birth. The second painting was gifted to the guest's grandparents, who left it to her along with a third artistic wonder. And what would these beauties be sold for at auction today? $15,000 to $25,000 for the first two is a tidy sum, but the third.
It's hand-colored. It's going to be around about $5,000 to $8,000.
But what is the value of this treasure altogether?
And so all in all, it's going to be $40,000 to $60,000.
Wow, that's fabulous. Thank you very much.
This is more than just a Queen Anne chest of drawers for this guest who inherited it from her great-grandmother. Named so after Queen Anne, the monarch who ruled Great Britain. This style is characterized by curved lines, and it became all the rage in 18th century colonial America. The figured tiger maplewood and detail-oriented craftsmanship set this piece apart. But it's the carved cutting which flows into brush feet that indicates the touch of an expert craftsman. So how much would such perfection cost on the market?
Put a conservative estimate of $15,000 to $30,000 on it. So not bad.
Not bad. I thought it was cherry. I learned a lot.
Tiger maple.
I learned a ton.
This guest inherited this painting from her attorney father, who had received it as a gift from a dying client. But this is no ordinary plaque painting, as it was painted by Robert Julian Onderdonk, a Texan impressionist painter, often called the father of Texas painting. Painted as a part of a group of plaque paintings of Buffalo and St. Louis in the 1880s. Equally intrigued by the painting, the guest's brother had it appraised.
2007, my brothers had an appraiser come in, and she priced it at $7,500.
But according to this appraiser, the painting would likely fetch a tidy profit of $12,000 to $15,000 today. Thomas acquired the little chair from an estate sale in Chicago 15 years ago, and later was offered the bigger chair. Both chairs are from the 1950s, boast Baja's era, characterized by tubular aluminum and canvas construction, reflecting a minimalist design aesthetic. The appraiser admires the construction design of both chairs, noting their quality and historical significance. Thomas paid $10 for the little chair and $20 for the big one, making it a $30 investment in total. Despite not knowing the exact value, Thomas is surprised to learn that the chairs could be worth around $2,000 in their current state, highlighting the potential return on his investment.
Oh, no kidding. Really? Awesome.
Apparently, being an impoverished English major and walking a rich woman's dogs can get you a handwritten poem by Oscar Wilde. For those of us who are literal novices, Oscar Wilde was an important Irish poet and playwright of the late 19th century. Christian Goss, father-in-law of the lady who had gifted it to the guest, had received the manuscript from Wilde in the 1890s. The manuscript is a very famous poem by Wilde called The New Remorse, which he wrote in 1891 for his lover, Lord Alfred Douglas. Interestingly, he'd taken the poems he had written for his lover and had renamed it Ideal Love, a sonnet. So how much would this piece of history be worth to the world today? The guest had it appraised some time ago and had been valued at $5,000 to $6,000. But what's the latest valuation?
An auction estimate conservatively of $10,000 to $15,000 today.
Great.
She was collecting small cabinets in the Maryland area, but would have never thought of finding this huge display cabinet in California. This amazing piece of furniture is from circa 1880 and was very common in general stores. It was made by the Belding Bros & Co. as a show-off in the style of Charles Eastlake. The beautiful mahogany and the Eastlake peculiar style add tremendous value to this piece, but the owner has no idea how much it's worth.
I will tell you that I paid about $2,000 for it, but I don't know what the value is.
It underwent a bit of restoration dating from the 20th century, which affects its value a little bit. But is the appraisal worth the finding?
I would expect maybe $4,000 for it.
Okay, thank you.
The guess came with the How Man Learned to Fly illustrations. She inherited them from her father, as he was an art professor in college and he loved painting. They were used for a magazine called How Man Learned to Fly. These were used in the publications. There are 24 illustrations and also came along with a bunch of photographs as well. People flying in a bus with steam-driven engine here is the Flying Man. It's man's first attempt to fly. An 1896 tragedy of someone flying a glider, and he's hanging by fingertips from a building. The last one here is the first parachute jump. These are almost 100 years old. This is just high-quality art. 24 pieces were appraised at $8,000 to $12,000 range.
Wonderful. Oh, that's great.
The guest came with Southern Plains Group circa 1880. He got it from his grandmother. It contains a Ute water jug along with a coin silver bracelet, a small beaded purse that she got for a 5th birthday present. This is my grandmother. The water bottle may not be Ute, although it could be. It's a domestic object. The bottom is suffused with sap, perhaps pine sap or pine resin. That would make it waterproof. The little pouch is a different tribe. The little design in the middle represents a peyote button. The bracelet is Navajo. The bracelet in many respects reflects many cultures. They were appraised a year ago. Basket for $600, $300 for the purse. The Apache water container was appraised for $400 and $500. Ceremony peyote pouch may be $450 to $500. The bracelet appraised for $4,500. It's not your everyday usual plate. The guests bought it online 5 years ago for just $95. They were drawn to its charming depiction of ravens, even though they couldn't decipher the signature to identify the artist. Upon examination, they discovered it was crafted by the renowned artist Anton Lang, known for his worldwide travels and theatrical performances. Unlike Lang's typical style, this plate features an intricate design around the edges, showcasing Lang's versatility and skill. The expert appraisal highlighted its rarity and aesthetic appeal, suggesting a potential auction value of around $1,000, reflecting its quality, craftsmanship, and artistic significance.
Seen Lang's work sell for several $100s from time to time. I think at auction, it would probably bring somewhere around $1,000.
Oh, wow.
Imagine stumbling upon a real gem, an Elvis standee, while helping friends renovate a house. That's exactly what happened to our guest, who proudly donned an Elvis t-shirt for the occasion, showcasing their love for the king of rock and roll. As they shared their excitement, they revealed how this standee was a promotional masterpiece for Elvis's very first movie, Love Me Tender. Back then, these standees were like gold dust, especially with fans screaming their hearts out in theaters. Despite some wear and tear, only a few survived the frenzy, making this find truly special. Most importantly, it's estimated to fetch a cool $10,000 to $15,000 at auction.
Oh my God.
So are you going to keep it by your bed still?
Oh, absolutely. You're kidding.
No.
This stunning emerald-cut diamond ring has a fascinating history, originally belonging to the guest's mother from her second marriage. The ring, affectionately called the Denny Diamond, after the guest's stepfather, and was purchased around 1971 or 1972. The diamond, over 5 carats, is incredibly clear and white. The setting features a classic design with a 4-pronged platinum setting and 2 tapered baguettes on the sides. Its current value is estimated to be between $80,000 to $120,000 at auction.
Oh, great. Well, that's that's nice.
The Civil War sword belonged to Morgan Lewis Smith, the guest's great-great-grandfather, who raised the 8th Missouri Regiment, eventually became its colonel. Morgan Lewis Smith served under Grant and Sherman, was wounded at Chickasaw Bluffs, and played a role in the Battle of Atlanta. After the war, he was given this statue hilt presentation sword by the citizens of Vicksburg for his efforts in restoring peace to the city. The sword comes with a rare walnut case, originally holding his sword belt, epaulets, and sash. Despite market fluctuations, his historical and aesthetic value places it between $40,000 and $50,000.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
The guests came with the 2 drawings from artist Leonard Tsuguharu Foujita. He got these 2 drawings from his father-in-law. When he was in Mexico City staying in the St. Regis Hotel, artist Foujita was staying in the same hotel. Tsuguharu Foujita was born in Japan, educated in Tokyo, and like some of his counterparts, he was financially successful early on. He was also known for his flamboyant costumes and his kind of wild behavior. So 2 different drawings are here. This is a small drawing of one of his favorite models, Madeline, and a larger depiction of a young Mexican boy holding his hat. At auction, drawings are appraised for $10,000 to $15,000 each.
Oh, that's kind of nice. A lot more than $5.
Better than $5.
Yeah.
The owner's fifth great-grandfather crafted this piece for his daughter's Lucy's wedding in 1752. Originating from Massachusetts, this piece boasts a rich history. Its design, simplicity, and symmetry are remarkable. Even after so many years, it's still in good condition. This label tells its connections with the Appleton family in Massachusetts. John Appleton is mentioned as joiner. He's not well known, but he's an ancestor of owner. It's in good shape, have great family history, but there's not much demand of it. What would be its value?
I think in the current market, I would put an auction estimate of $5,000 to $7,000 on it.
Okay.
The guest brought Xiaomi Katsuyoshi Mixed Metal Group to the show, narrating how she loves Art Nouveau things.
I love Art Nouveau things. I collect Art Nouveau jewelry, so I love the three-dimensional aspects of it. It has insects on it because I collect bug jewelry.
She purchased them at Antique Flea Market in Dallas. The set of artworks cost $2,000. They were made during the Meiji period. Xiaomi Katsuyoshi was the swordsmith artist that made them. At a point, the artist moved from making sword furniture to large vases. The set of artworks was made of copper, gold, and silver.
You have copper, you have shakudo, which is a combination of gold and copper, a little bit of shibuichi, which is silver and copper, and also some pure gold here.
One of the metal has signature that reads, Xiaomi Katsuyoshi, with a kakehan. Another one has an inscription which reads, Dai Nihon, meaning made in the Great Japan. The appraiser valued the set of pieces to range between $20,000 and $30,000.
Oh, my.
At auction.
And I had to really prod my husband to buy it.
The guest brought a collection of historical documents relating to Louis Armstrong's life in music. She inherited from her father-in-law, who was a policeman. She narrated how he came down to her family.
Husband's father was a sheriff in Seattle and a policeman, and he worked at the Trianon as a bouncer.
Louis Armstrong was a revolutionary musician who changed the world of jazz and popular music forever. The Louis Armstrong archives are a treasure trove of information about life and music. What made these archives and podcasts special were the signatures on them. He wrote to his wife, appreciating her for taking care of him. The appraiser valued archives and the postcards to be $20,000. Bent Knapp's bronze was brought by a guest to the show. He inherited it from his father. It was originally purchased by his grandfather between 1920 and 1970. Evan G. Knapp's bronze was a renowned Russian sculptor who worked in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. It was cast in St. Petersburg, Russia, at the Werfel Foundry. It's believed to have been cast circa 1882. It is one of the earliest known castings and has reproduced over probably 10 years. He was known for his bronze sculptures, which often depicted realistic human figures in dynamic poses. It captured a sense of movement and emotion. It is titled The Bear Attack, and sometimes referred to as Defending Her Child. It was first appraised for $5,000 in 1980. The appraiser valued the bronze to range between $20,000 and $30,000.
Wow. Unfortunately, I'll never see it. This is never leaving the house.
The next item is a pin made by Roy Lichtenstein. The owner's collector aunt gifted it to her in 1970.
In Los Angeles, I wear it on occasion, but most of the time it's in a case on my nightstand so I can see it every day.
The owner's aunt purchased it in New York. The creator, Roy Lichtenstein, was a renowned pop artist. It's a fantastic piece. It's an abstract modern head with Benedy dots, a printing process Lichtenstein often used. The back has his name and a copyright from 1968. What would be its value?
It would have an auction estimate of $4,000 to $6,000.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.